Something extraordinary is happening in the United States right now, and most people don't even realize how close it is to exploding, because this is no longer just a political scandal. This is no longer just another partisan fight. This is about power, violence, and the moment when trust between a government and its people begins to collapse. Over the past few days, more than 100 Democratic lawmakers have publicly supported impeaching the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. That number is still growing, and it's growing for one reason. 2 Americans are dead. One of them was Alex Pretti, and his killing has become a breaking point, according to federal officials. Pretti approached Border Patrol agents with a handgun. They said he violently resisted. They said they had no choice. But then the videos appeared, videos filmed by ordinary people, videos that don't seem to show a weapon in his hands, videos that raise a chilling question: what if the official story isn't true? Local authorities later confirmed that Pretti had a legal permit to carry a firearm, and suddenly, what looked like a justified use of force started to look very different. For many Americans, this wasn't just another tragic headline. It felt personal, it felt close, and it felt dangerous. Because if a U.S. citizen can be killed during a federal operation, and the explanation doesn't match what people see with their own eyes, then something is deeply wrong. And that's where Kristi Noem comes in. As Secretary of Homeland Security, Noem oversees the agencies involved: Border Patrol, ICE, federal enforcement units deployed across the country. Recent weeks, thousands of federal officers were sent into Minnesota as part of what the administration calls Operation Metro Surge. Supporters say it's about security, critics say it's about intimidation, and after Pretti's death, the criticism turned into outrage. Senior lawmakers didn't just call for investigations, they called for impeachment. They accused Noem of losing control over her department, of spreading misinformation, of allowing federal agents to operate with terrifying levels of force. Some went even further. They said she has blood on her hands. That language is not accidental. It's designed to shock, because this moment is meant to shock. And Pretti wasn't the only case. Earlier this month, Renee Nicole Good was shot and killed while sitting in her car by a federal officer. Officials claimed she attempted to harm agents. They labeled it domestic terrorism, but once again, cell phone footage emerged. Witnesses spoke out, and the story began to unravel. People who saw the incident said it looked like she was trying to drive away, not attack, not kill. Just escape. 2 deaths, 2 official explanations, and 2 sets of videos that appear to tell a different story. This is where public trust begins to fracture. Democratic senators and governors are now openly calling for Noem to resign. Others insist resignation is not enough. They want impeachment. They want removal. They want accountability. Some lawmakers are taking an even more drastic step. They're refusing to vote for any funding bill that includes money for the Department of Homeland Security. That decision could trigger a partial government shutdown. Think about that for a moment. The department responsible for national security may soon lose its funding because lawmakers say it cannot be trusted to police itself. That is unprecedented territory. And here's the psychological core of this story. When people feel unsafe, they look to authority for protection. But when authority becomes the source of fear, society enters a dangerous phase. That's what makes this moment different. This isn't just about immigration enforcement. This isn't just about partisan politics. This is about whether Americans believe their government is telling the truth when deadly force is used. Kristi Noem insists her department acted appropriately. Her critics say she's misleading the public, that she's prioritizing image over human life. And once that belief takes hold, it's almost impossible to reverse, because trust, once broken, doesn't quietly come back, it explodes. Right now, the country is watching to see what happens next. Will Congress move forward with impeachment? Will Noem resign? Will DHS funding be blocked? Or will this moment pass like so many others? That answer depends on pressure, on attention, on whether people keep watching, questioning, and demanding answers, because history shows us something uncomfortable. The most dangerous moments aren't when governments openly admit wrongdoing. They're when officials insist nothing is wrong while the evidence tells another story. And that's why this story isn't over, not even close. If you want to understand how power really works, if you want to see what happens when authority is challenged from within, and if you don't want to miss what comes next in this unfolding crisis, stay with us, subscribe, watch closely, because the next chapter could change everything.